Wow, what a morning. So, it wouldn't pull up. The software wasn't working. I just had to pull it from a good thing I had a backup. Wow, I'm surprised it's working now. But life is complete. It's actually been a very good morning. And I'm very excited for some reason for the day. But it's working. And guess what I have to do now? I'm going to listen to the cards like they're the sounds of the ocean. Oh my gosh. And there goes my shoulders. Oh my gosh. So in any slightly panic situation, it's that when do I take a breath and when do I remember to? So just hearing the cards just now. It's that light switch. It says, oh yeah. Are my feet flat on the floor? Is my butt comfortable? Am I at least taking part of the day to relax my neck and shoulders and take that breath? So I apologize for being late. I've been very good about being pretty diligent about this. But I've been messing with stuff because I also want to start doing some of the other platforms. Just TikTok and the Instagram and the Instagram, as those kids today call it. So didn't know I blew some stuff up. But here we are now for our daily reflection, our inventory, so we can just check in with the universe. See if there's any angers or resentments or things that we need to know that might pop up in the middle of the day. And if we talk about them now, maybe they won't have the influence they normally would. Can't believe my software. Wow. Okay, so it's working. Okay. That looks like a lot of zoom. This is me being the highly trained professional. And then being reminded to take that breath. So here we are, and I'm going to make our 3 stacks. Each one being a different thread going out to the universe. Each one being a different thought or idea. And if we believe in the multiverse, each one of these is like a different path. Because this path will lead down one conversation, this a different one, and this a different one. And based on choices we make in life, good, bad, or indifference, when we make a choice, it's almost like we're leaving 2 other choices behind that lead down 2 different paths, which is a good reason to try and do the positive choices. So I'm going to take the bottom stack, which is what's underneath and sometimes things we don't see that might be influencing us. I'm going to do our 3 in 1. Flipping the cards over one at a time, like they're the pages of a book. Oh, even though the software was kind of being all messy, it's like, isn't it amazing just the differences that we feel sometimes? It's like, sometimes all we need is just one more straw to break the camel's back. And then other days, it's like, you know what? It's just water off the back, off the duck's back. So this is about the world. This is, sometimes things come to an end. We complete something. We learn something. It's time to move to a new level. And so the world is the last of the majors. And it really is. It's about, finally letting ourselves complete something. And when we do, we don't want to just stay stagnant in it. You know, we still need to grow and learn. And I think this is what, I'm coming up on 60. So I think about this a lot. Because there's choices where we could just kind of, just choose to get older and then settle down. And, we gained everything we thought we did with, buying a house or buying a car. But there's so much more than just that. And yes, it's starting at zero and the Fool and going back up the path again. But that's the world. And so that's why we come to the card 8. So 8s are about progress, moving forward. It's almost like this is a map. See how you have these different routes? Cups are about emotions, feelings, those things, spirituality. It's water, and water can't just stay still. If water stays still, it stagnates. But sometimes we get stuck where we are. Sometimes the world is just, we feel it's good enough. And the thing is that we've seen people who, where they work to buy that big screen TV, that big giant flat screen TV. We work so hard to get that. Our lives are complete. We've got it. Now let's sit here and watch Netflix and just binge and binge and binge. And so we have the world. It's like we start over. We follow a new path. But again, we have an 8 here of Cups, which is about flow. Now we have the 8 of Swords. So what happens? We start a cycle. We move forward. We start achieving things. Swords are thoughts. Swords are mind. Swords are ideas. The 8 of Swords. See how open this is? This is about sometimes with the 8 of Cups, sometimes even being willing to leave something behind to move forward. Maybe the big screen TV to move forward. Because sometimes we don't listen to the advice card or this card here. We move as far as we want. We get the TV. We achieve something. We get a TV. And here we are. We fence ourselves in mentally. So where this flower is growing and sprouting, once we stop progressing and we just let our mind settle, look at that little plant right there. Do you see that? That's what can happen. We just mentally lock ourselves in. We've gone as far as we want. Maybe we don't want to sacrifice, because we worked hard, we achieved something, we went through a cycle, we started moving forward, and then we stop. So we have one more card, which is the advice card, but this is absolutely about, we go through these cycles of life. And then sometimes we stop. And then we lock ourselves into this mental chamber where before we had this opportunity to grow, and these cups just water us until we finally achieve the big screen TV. And then we lock ourselves in. And then this becomes us. And this is that room where we're just sitting. And that's just an analogy for anything that we can lock ourselves into. So here's the advice card. So look at this guy. This is the Chariot. Does he look like he's going to be corralled in? I mean, he's got 2 horses. And this one's pulling this way. This one's pulling this way. And they're both looking over here. And the deal is that we have our self-will. We have the appropriate use of self-will. So sometimes when we want to achieve a goal, the appropriate use of saying, this is what I am going to do. That's not good in an argument. Self-will in an argument just means I'm going to win this argument whether I'm right or wrong. That's a misuse of self-will. But in a situation where we've locked ourselves in, and we need to get ourselves out. This charioteer does not even have reins. He doesn't have these horses tethered to pull him left or right. This charioteer is so determined. All he has to do is just sheer focus of will. And think about that. Sometimes we just need to have a sheer focus of will that says, I recognize that I'm in this mental trap. I can do therapy, which is important. I can do this, I can do that. They can give me all the advice in the world, but until I just find that way. So today, it's actually a very beautiful spread in the fact that, yes, we achieve things in life, but it's not enough. It's enough to rest for a while, but this is the last card in the deck. Then we need to go through. And so we build upon what we already have. And we move forward spiritually. Again, cups are spiritual emotions and feelings. We move forward, but we need to be willing to leave something behind sometimes. But instead, sometimes we get that water that propelled us forward. We flowed down the river. Sometimes we go off into a tributary and we just sit there for a while. And this is the sitting in the tributary. We need to make that decision that says, all right, if I'm going to get out of this tributary, I actually have to row. I have to pick up the oars because nobody's going to do that for me. I can have support and help and people cheer me on, but I'm the one that's going to have to row. And this even looks like a boat. But we need to get out of this tributary. We need to make that decision. And once we get back in the current again, just imagine where we can go. Because this map is still going forward. And we'll be back on the path. I hope that makes sense. I hope I didn't talk too much. I think it's a pretty amazing spread, especially for what I'm trying to do here lately, because I've been trapped in that. And I can tell this is a good one because my head is starting to hurt. I'm getting that mental thing from just the focus and the clarity of this. So, today, I hope you have an amazing day. Just think about where we may have mentally locked ourselves, and do we need to just pick up the oars and say, today I'm at least going to move to a different tributary that might flow a little bit differently. Otherwise, sometimes we sit there and we just stagnate. I hope you have an amazing day. Thanks again, and I will be back tomorrow.